Captains tonight for the Highlanders: Dodig, Young, Dyer, and Maples. For the Tornadoes: Hodge, Kincannon, Thatcher, and Hughes.
Hello, football fans from Alcoa High School. Mike Helton along with Rob Younger to bring you tonight's broadcast of the third round of the Class 2A TSSAA state playoffs. Rob here. Hey, we're broadcasting on Thanksgiving weekend. What else can you say? You know, both teams coming in 11-1 on the season, Alcoa and GP.
Hey, both teams coming in great records, Mike. Third round of the playoffs, Thanksgiving weekend. But the big thing, Mike, if you really think about how great this is, there's only 8 teams in Class 2A playing football tonight, and we're one of them. So that says a lot about our football team there.
It's Gatlinburg-Pittman last week, winners over Cumberland Gap 30-24 in overtime, and Alcoa, the Tornadoes, defeating CAK by a score of 28, make that 58-24.
Well, Mike, no doubt about it. They're a powerful offense. I was looking at some of their scores and stats before the game. They've scored about 550 points. Their opponents have only scored 115 points tonight. They are a very good football team, and perhaps one of the best athletes in the state is playing quarterback for them tonight.
Head coach Benny Hammonds in his 36th season at Gatlinburg-Pittman High School, assisted by Neil Estes, Brad Weber, Paige Yates, Adrian Probst, Larry White, Brad Justice, Matt Evans, and Ralph Kidd. Rob, nice banner down there. They're tired of leftovers, and I'm sure not any leftovers at your house.
Hey, I'm not tired of them.
Ladies and gentlemen, the 2007 Alcoa High School Tornadoes.
And Mike, huge crowd on hand tonight. Of course, Alcoa, like Gatlinburg-Pittman, has a great tradition. They have a few championship banners hanging on their wall. Well, you can just name a long list of players that have played here at Alcoa and gone on to play Division I football. Just a powerhouse in Tennessee football.
Like I said, both teams 11-1 on the season. GP's only loss coming to Class 3A Rutledge. And Alcoa's only loss, Rob, of the season to Class 4A Power Maryville High School.
Well, Mike, I tell you, the thing that is on everybody's mind is what happened up here 2 years ago. The huge beating that they gave us when they beat us 91-7, and I really think that kind of changed the way we approached our off-season workout. How we tried to get leaner and faster and quicker. And boy, I tell you, just to play with these guys right here, they put a lot of speed on the field.
Number 77, Adolfo Elman for the Highlanders kicking off. He's filling in for Matthew Pitzer, still injured for the Highlanders. And we're underway in the third round of the playoffs. It's a squib kick. It hits a tornado, I think, up front and goes out of bounds. And so that works out pretty good, Rob, right there on the ricochet. And they're going to spot the ball at the 26-yard line. They're going to try to put it up on the 40, but I think it was touched up here. Maybe I was wrong.
Well, Mike, the official immediately threw the flag as soon as the ball went out of bounds. If it touched somebody on Alcoa's team, I don't think they saw it.
Randall Cobb, number 7, the senior quarterback. He's a lefty right there. GP faced a lefty last week. And big quarterback Adam Beeson for Cumberland Gap. Cobb fakes, looking, has a man in the flat ball, almost picked off there by diving number 16, Taylor Ogle for the Highlanders.
Well, Mike, I tell you, right out of the chutes, Gatlinburg-Pittman's looking good. You saw Alcoa having a little bit of confusion from the sideline to the huddle, having to substitute players at the last minute. But, Mike, that's just the old bootleg plays. We did a good job keeping him in the pocket, but Taylor Ogle read it all the way, made a great break, and knocked the ball down.
With the incompletion, it's 2nd down 10 at the Tornado 35-yard line. Twins to the left. Movement right there, and I think looks like maybe Alcoa may have jumped a little bit there, Rob. And it looked like Alcoa just lined up. I tell you, if you coach Gary,
Mike, I think they were just lined up off sides.
If you coach Gary Rankin, you know, he's had a couple of state championships down at Riverdale before he came up here a couple of years ago. Can't be pleased with the way his Alcoa team has started out this ballgame. Good for the Highlanders, but not good for Alcoa. 2nd down 15. Fake again. Cobb wants to go deep, has a man across the middle, complete. Still on his feet in Highlander territory down to the 36-yard line. That's the big tight end, Tyler Robinson, for the Tornadoes.
And, Mike, everybody talked about him this week, what a dangerous player he was. And I tell you, the play before this where they had the penalty, you saw him take a hard release and run that same pattern. And you could just see he was anxious to get out of the gates, but a well-executed play.
Finally brought down by number 12, Hagen Sims for the Highlanders. This time Cobb in shotgun formation, Hodge the running back. Hodge on the carry. 1st down and more, still on his feet. That's going to be touchdown, Alcoa.
Touchdown, Hodge on the touchdown run.
And Mike,
so 37
off
yards.
to the races.
37 yards on the carry for Hodge right there. Of course, Rob, just a little trap up the center right there. Let's see if the Highlanders can get a hand on this PAT. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is going to make it across. A little weak kick right there, but here with 11-14 opening moments of the first quarter, Highlanders trail Alcoa 7-0.
Well, Mike, when you look at the replay of that, it looks like that we have an extra defensive back end, and all of our linemen are kind of in that three-point stance. Everybody's playing pass. The front level just kind of runs right by the football. And, of course, when you got somebody with that much talent back there, he's going to be hard to tackle.
Rob, Thanksgiving weekend, did you have a lot of eating yesterday?
I think I gained about 10 pounds.
Yeah, I read something this week that said the average American takes in over 5,000 calories on Thanksgiving Day.
I did that with the first meal.
And Rob, you know, been bragging about the Choctaws all week. They're practicing basketball now.
They're playing lost to a team that they beat in the regular season, Haywood County.
But on the good side about it,
Dyersburg lost too. You could live with it there. Of course, Mike, the great thing is we're one of 8 teams playing tonight, and the only team from Sevier County going deep into the playoffs.
Deep for the Highlanders, number 7, Chase Young. It's a booming kick. It's going to be fielded by Owens at the 8-yard line. Still on his feet, cut back left side. Nice return. Driving, twisting, turning across the 25-yard line out to the 26-yard line. Gatlinburg-Pittman, they'll be quarterback by number 16, Taylor Ogle, who's gone all year for the Highlanders, the junior. And Rob, if you're Gatlinburg-Pittman High School, balanced attack all year, running and passing, I don't see anything different in tonight's ball game.
Mike, I don't think that there's any point in the world of trying to come up with something special scheme-wise. I think you just kind of go out and do what got us here and just try to do it as good as we can. And you're obviously going to have to play the best game you've ever played in your life tonight.
Long snap here, quick snap count by Ogle right there, and I think he made the Tornadoes jump there. Let's see what the call is here. All sides against the Tornadoes. That's good for GP. We'll step 5 off, and I bring up first down and 5. Of course, the winner of tonight's ball game, Rob, will be taking on the winner of DCA, Donaldson Christian Academy, and York Institute, who's playing tonight. Power eye left for the Highlanders. That's Dyer on first down. Drives his way up close to the 35-yard line. I think they're going to spot it across the 35 at the 36. How about on the 35-yard line? Gain of 2 on the play. Second down 3, GP.
Well, Mike, one thing about it, you know, when you look at the scouting reports and they say Alcoa plays a 3-5, sometimes a 4-3, but when they play us, they're going to have 6 guys up on the line of scrimmage. They're not going to play cover 2. They're going to bring that extra safety up as a linebacker, and they're going to stop the run. They're going to make us throw the ball.
Power slot right formation. That's Dyer after the fake. They're picking up the first down for the Highlanders out at the 39-yard line.
And Mike, that was a good football play. That's a great job. Good job blocking at the point of attack. Great job by Bo Dyer sticking it in there. And here's a look at the replay.
Good fake right in there to Robertson, and then you got Dyer on the give, and he picks up the first down for the Highlanders. Their first down on the ball game. Of course, Rob, operating a little bit different up here tonight up in the stands amongst the Tornado fans, but not too nippy tonight, but the coldest night of the ball game. Well, actually, it's pretty nippy. Sutton on the reverse after the fake right there. Mishandles that football. It's going to be a big loss back down to the 31-yard line. That'll bring up second down 18 for the Highlanders. Clock running 9:39 and counting in the first quarter.
And Mike, I tell you, Zach Sutton, when he came out of his position, it looked like he was planning on going in front of Taylor to take the handoff. Taylor thought he was going behind him, and they just messed up the exchange. But had that play worked, I think we had something going there.
Young on the look-in. Slant, complete up close to the 48-yard line. That's going to be about a couple yards short of the first down.
And, Mike, that's just a beautiful throw and catch. And I tell you one thing that we got to see out of Taylor Ogle right there is we got to see him put a little heat on the ball. You know, one thing about it, when you're in high school, you just can't always rear back and throw the ball as hard as you can because you don't have guys that can catch it. But he had to put a little sauce on it right there, and he did. And a great catch by Chase Young.
Third down, and we'll call it a long one for the Highlanders. Owens to the right. Dyer on the carry, left side, pounding, twisting. I don't think he got it, Rob, in that spot right there, but I tell you, this early in the ball game, Coach Benny Hammonds and the staff may elect to go for it.
Well, Mike, there's no way he got it. He got met right there at the line of scrimmage, and
pretty good spot.
But we did get a good spot. Boy, it's going to be a tough decision right here.
I think he may be just a tad short here, Rob. Of course,
timeout for the measurement.
going to stretch it, and it's going to be a first down Highlanders.
First and 10, Highlanders.
Their second first down of the ball game.
Well, I tell you, Mike, what got that, they did give us a good spot, but when Bo Dyer got met right there at the line of scrimmage, he did not get knocked back. He kept fighting for ground. And then when the rest of the Alcoa's defensive players that got there, they knocked him back. But a good job by the officials.
Keelan Bryce, number 65, brings his troops up to the line of scrimmage, the big offensive line. Pro I formation, tight end right for the Highlanders. Young to the left, Orange to the right. Ogle drops, fakes, wants to go deep down the left side. It's Young. That ball's going to be, where's the call? There's the call right there.
I mean, you know, Mike, that was an obvious call. He was running down the field, had one hand on Chase Young's chest right there and running with him.
Pretty obvious right there, and that'll show up in the replay there. So that's going to be great for the Highlanders. That'll be 15 yards from the line of scrimmage. Let's see what the call is. Defensive pass interference. It's number 8 on the defense.
Of course, the Tornado fans aren't going to go along with that, but when you look at the film, Mike, it was pretty obvious.
Good job by Ogle, pumping to the right, looking off the defender.
You know, Mike, at first when he threw that ball, I thought, well, I thought well overthrew him, but really, had there not been interference, that would have been a pretty good pass. Of course, it would have been a fight between Chase Young and the defensive back.
1st and 10 at the Alcoa 36-yard line. Owens in a slot to the right this time. Young split to the right. Dyer, right side, cuts back inside. Nice run by Bo, still on his feet. Down inside the 30, down to the 29-yard line. GP really getting a lot, Rob, tonight so far off the right tackle.
Well, you know, one thing, Mike, I like already is Coach Hammonds in his scouting report said, don't be intimidated after the big loss last year, the 91 or 2 years ago, the 91-7 loss. And hey, I see 11 kids that are anything but intimidated out there.
Sims to the left, Owens in the slot to the left. Sutton tight end right, Dyer the tailback. 2nd down 3, Dyer left side, gets back inside, pounds, twists, turns. 1st down Highlanders inside the 25-yard line.
Dyer carries, picks up the 1st down. 1st and 10, Highlanders at the 23.
First down at the 23-yard line, 7:26 and counting in the 1st quarter. GP down 7-0. Trap inside Robertson. Pounding down close to the 15. Nice run by the senior, Matt Robertson.
Robertson carries. It'll be 2nd down to the 15.
Let's get a good look at the replay. Remember, it's this replay on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock, Monday nights at 7 o'clock, and Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock on Channel 4, the PEG channel, downtown Gatlinburg. And at the end of tonight's ball game, we will be bringing you the Greenbrier Restaurant play of the game and the Five Oaks Construction offensive and defensive players of the game. Corey Jenkins off the left side. Not much on that play there. Bring up 3rd and about 2 for GP. Let's see where they spotted at. 3rd and 2 for the Highlanders. Because Rob Noel Pitzer being out this week, noticed there in pregame warmups that Bo Owens, doing a little extra point deal and field goal kicking for the Highlanders.
He is, and I heard that he had a good week in practice kicking the ball. One thing that you like about having somebody like Bo Owens rather than a lineman, they're just going to get there to the ball quicker and get the kickoff quicker.
Double slots for the Highlanders. Ogle drops, looks. Ball is complete right there. He wanted to do the flea flicker right there. Alcoa is still on her feet. Finally knocked out of bounds at the 29-yard line. I think right there on the completion, Young had the 1st down, but I think that was the designed flea flicker play there, Rob.
Well, Mike, we're just going to have to get a look at a replay right here. And I agree with you, and that's a real gutsy call and an interesting call right here. Go for the big play. You got to do something. Well, I tell you what, though, you gotta tell that guy if that happens in traffic, you just got to pull it down. And I tell you, a negative play, a turnover, but an impressive ending right there. Your big offensive tackle, Adolfo Ellman, coming over and saving a touchdown, fighting through 2 blockers and making that sideline tackle after the interception.
And Rob, even though the Highlanders didn't get points on the board, they did tell Alcoa, hey, we can run it right at you. Cobb, the quarterback, at the 31-yard line. Cobb drops, looks, pumps, wants to go deep, has a man down the left side. That ball is incomplete there. They're picking on number 12, Sims, for the Highlanders. Rob, yet to see Jeffrey Janey in the ball game. I think Janey earlier in the week went through a period of dehydration, so don't know if he is able to get that worked out or not. Cobb, shotgun formation, fakes to Hodge, keeps the football right there, cuts outside, still on his feet, trying to get more, cuts outside again. makes a couple Highlanders miss and rambles down to the 27-yard line.
Mike, I tell you a kid that I just love, and I keep talking about him every week, but even though Alcoa had a huge play, I mean, hey, we're talking about one of the elite athletes in the country that's making everybody miss. But watch your defensive tackle, number 77, Adolfo, try to work his way to the tackle at the line of scrimmage. But, you know, the kid's 30, 40 yards downfield, and watch who ends up making the tackle right there.
Great effort by Adolfo. 1st and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. Twins left. That's Tyson on the carry, the freshman running back for the Tornadoes.
And Adolfo Alleman. We've been pronouncing his name wrong all year. It's Alleman.
You have, I have.
Oh, okay.
Hey, it's always mispronounced when I say it, Rob. I didn't have speech when I was in school.
They didn't have speech at Benson Elementary, did they?
Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down for Alcoa. Cobb on the look in. It's going to be enough for the 1st down. That's number 12, Hagan Sims, on the stop for the Highlanders.
You know, Mike, pretty good defense by Hagan right there. I really thought he was in position to make a play on the ball. A lot of pressure on Hagan Sims tonight. You know, because, Mike, one thing is a lot of pressure on everybody. They've got 3 good receivers on the field, but it seems like they're going twins to their offensive left, and he's out there kind of on an island by himself, and when he's to the wide side of the field, there's nobody within 30 yards of him.
There's Hodge on the carry. And more. Touchdown, Alcoa, 14-yard run. Hodge, the senior running back. Rob, a lot of fireworks going off up in the air tonight. I feel like
fireworks on and off the field.
I feel like I'm at the Space Needle on the New Year's Eve. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. I tell you, Alcoa kickers, he's not getting any style points tonight.
That's not their number 1 kicker. They've got a lineman and their starting kicker not playing tonight. We don't know why. That's just what we.
Who told you that?
Little pregame intelligence that
the Blount County
Mr. Marty Nicely gathered for
Marty
us.
Nicely. Of course, Marty's
He's connected.
It's
here.
home to Marty over here. I know it's not Alcoa, Marty. It's Blount County, you know.
No, he's from Maryville.
Like, is that sort of like Marty, like saying that you're from Sevier County, but you live in Gatlinburg, not Pigeon Forge? You don't. Maryville and Alcoa, that's two different planets. As you get a good look at head coach Benny Hammonds in his 36th season at the Ham. And of course, looks like he's passed out a lot of toboggans tonight. Of course, Rob, I know to his coaching staff, I know you got one in your pocket right there, but you know.
It's boggin weather.
I know. I got my old Wyoming hat on right here. Started to wear shorts tonight, but a little too nippy. Dyer at the 5. Gets back inside. Still on his feet. Hammered hard right there. Great tackle by Alcoa, but a good return by Dyer across the 25 up to the 26-yard line.
Hey, you're not going to rattle Bo Dyer by hitting him. Hey, he'll have to be 2 weeks dead before you get that kid off the football field.
Gatlinburg-Pittman last week went to 11-1 for the football season, only the 4th time in history that they have reached the 11-win plateau. Dyer's going to pick up about 3 tough yards out there close to the 29-yard line.
Mike, I tell you what I'd do. I'd go back on the sideline and I would talk to Zach Sutton and Taylor Ogle and get that exchange worked out on that little reverse.
Oh, they're going to say fumble? And Alcoa football. Let's see if we can get a replay of that, Randall. I couldn't tell from here. Not much reaction by the GP sideline, so he may have coughed it up here.
Mike, that might have been more of a takeaway than a fumble, where they just kind of pulled the ball out of his arms.
Maybe we'll get to that later on. Alcoa football at the GP 29-yard line. Cobb drops. Has a man in the flat, ball's incomplete right there. Probably a pretty good job dropping it right there, Rob. That would have been a loss back at the 30-yard line. Now I think we got the replay. See if we can get a little better shot of it right here. Looks like that ball was on the ground.
Yeah. Of course, Mike, one thing is I saw number 22, Lee Douglas, take a shot right there on Cobb. Put a little heat on him right after he threw the ball.
Cobb in shotgun formation. Of course, GP without the two inside backers, Pitzer and Green for the Highlanders. That's Hodge on the touchdown.
Mike, I just can't. He's a good football player. Just can't imagine that he's that good that we just can't even get a hand on him. He's touched the ball 3 times for 3 scores. And it's really the same play every time. It's kind of like a little sprint draw.
Let's go to attempt the extra point.
And I tell you, as you look at the extra point, the thing is we're just so keyed up to try to stop Cobb and his pass attack and get the sack on him that our defensive players on the first level are just kind of running right by him, and everybody else is concerned about not getting beat deep, and it's hard to defend him. I'd hate to be in Neil Estes' coaching shoes tonight trying to defend this.
GP did get a hand on it. Couldn't tell from here. I think it was number 32, Bo Dyer, to get a look at the touchdown run here.
Boy, I tell you, just that little fake, and you saw 3 of our defensive backs. You just saw their heads going for that fake, and just that one little hesitation, he's gone.
Get a good look right there at the full moon here tonight over Blount County and all over East Tennessee and probably Tennessee. And great job of Kevin Tierney, who's done a super job all year long. Of course, he surrenders his presidency this Monday night at the Chamber of Commerce banquet. So will he be the ex-presidente? Is that the, or ex officio something? I don't know. I took Latin, but I didn't take Latin too. So. All right, deep for GP, Young, Owens, Dyer. That's Young at the 6.
Young on the return.
Young out close to the 20, maybe the 21-yard line.
Highlanders at the 23.
Rob, GP's second offensive possession here in the third quarter. Third offensive possession. My bad on that. Ball loose again right there. Alcoa, so they have it.
Fumbled. Covered by the Tornadoes. Dawson on the fumble recovery.
Couldn't tell if the snap from Bryce to Ogle had a little trouble with that, or if Ogle just lost it on his drop.
Mike, it's hard to tell from here. Of course, the temperatures are in the probably the mid-30s right now, and it's hard to handle the football. But hey, you just got to concentrate a little harder. You got to make sure you take care of those little things, because Alcoa is certainly not anybody you want to give an advantage to.
So 1st and 10, Alcoa at the 19-yard line. Hodge again. Finally brought down there. First on attack for the Highlanders, number 22, Lee Douglas for GP.
Mike, that's the first time he's been tackled tonight.
So that's a first down for Alcoa. Ball at the 6-yard line. They're bringing up 1st and go Here are 3:13 remaining in the first quarter, Class 2A quarterfinal round. Fade there. That's going to be touchdown, Alcoa.
Touchdown, Tornadoes. Touchdown pass complete from number 5 to Sam Thompson.
That's Thompson on the reception.
And Mike, how do you defend that?
That's off to the right. So here with 2:56 remaining in the first quarter, it's Alcoa 26, GP nothing. Of course, Rob, you know, first time GP had the football, nice drive, consumed a lot of time, got into the red zone of Alcoa. Of course, you know, the last 2 offensive series, you know, 2 fumbles, you know, so really,
on the first play of the possession.
Each time. As you get a look at the touchdown here. Good catch in there by the Thompson, the Alcoa player.
Like, there are an awful lot of really good-looking athletes on the field here tonight.
Because, Rob, when you go this deep in the playoffs, it starts getting a little nippier. And of course, we went from the Telco Plains game, week 0 to being about 95 degrees to it's dropped about 70 degrees. As you get a good look at the GP fans across the way, you know, anytime you get in that third round of playoffs and you get a good crowd out, especially on Thanksgiving weekend, it's just a joy to see across the way there. Thompson to kick off for Alcoa. Young, Owens, Dyer deep. And this time it's going to be Dyer at the 5. And Dyer stopped at the 20.
Dyer on the return, stopped by Warren.
You know, you see the guy that made the tackle there, Warren. He's Darrell Warren, a 6'1", 215-pound freshman. You got to wonder if he's Brandon Warren's brother.
That's Marty. Marty, you know. Marty, you don't know.
I mean, he is
of course, Rob,
amazing-looking athlete, just like Brandon Warren was.
All right, 1st and 10 Highlanders. Dyer, left side, cutting back inside. Not much going there. Maybe a gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down 9 for the Highlanders. On a chilly night from over here in Alcoa, Tennessee.
For no gain, 2nd down.
For always it'd be hard to find a place to eat after this ball game with Maryville playing Red Bank in town tonight. Young to the right, and Owens in the slot to the right. Fake right there. Ugle looks, got Owens out there. It's complete. Still on his feet. Finally knocked out of bounds close to the 33-yard line, and that's going to be a 1st down for GP.
I tell you, great play. You got to come back to that, Mike, because Chase Young was open down the sidelines. Had he thrown it, looked downfield, he would have seen Chase Young running deep. But great football play. Taylor Ugle showing a little touch right there.
Sims split to the left. Owens in the slot, I formation Highlanders. Ugle fakes, looking. He's got Owens again in the flat, complete. 45-50, cuts back inside, still on his feet, may go down inside the 30-yard line. A Highlander 1st down.
Mike, great football play. I tell you, you take away the 2 turnovers, it's a different ball game, but still see kids playing with a lot of confidence. Watch Taylor Ugle right here. Mike, that is just perfect technique. Got his shoulders round, threw a perfect pass.
Good run after the catch by Owens.
Always a good run. He's averaging probably now about 20 yards a reception. And Taylor Ugle came into this ball game, Mike, over 1,000 yards passing on the season.
GP in that bunch formation to the right on 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line. Ugle looking, has a man downfield. That's Young at the 10. Knocked out of bounds inside the 5 at the 4-yard line.
You know, there's going to be a lot of college football coaches that are going to be watching this film to watch number 7 Randall Cobb play, and they're going to see Taylor Ogle, 6'5", and got great feet, got great technique, and watch him right there, and he avoids a good pass rush. And Mikey just throws a perfect football right there.
Nice touch on the play by Taylor Ogle.
So they're gonna watch this film, then they're going to be calling Benny over in Gatlinburg. Said, who's number 16?
First and goal from the 4-yard line for the Highlanders here with 1:11 remaining in the first quarter. Dyer sweeps to the left, cuts back inside. Pounding, twisting, turning, getting close. He's in the end zone, Bo Dyer.
And Mike, that's just want to. I tell you, good job up front blocking. You see number 61, Michael Dodig, they run it to his side, but had a really good block by your fullback, Matt Robertson, and really it was right there in a tight spot. And Bo Dyer, instead of trying to break it outside, cut right off his block tip, and then just lowered his shoulder and got it in.
So it will be Orange to attempt a PAT, filling in for the injured Matthew Pitzer. Ogle to hold, Robertson to snap. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good. So here with 54 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's Alcoa 26, the Highlanders 7. You know, Rob, 2 drives, GP really been able to move the ball well, but it's been those 3 turnovers. The 3 fumbles that's led to Alcoa scores. That's just power running.
That is power running. Good blocking, Mike. You can't take it away from Nate Sanchez, Keelan Bryce, and Michael Dodig on that left side of the line, and a good block by your fullback. But when it got down to it, it's just Bo Dyer being tough as a pine knot, lowering his shoulder and running through 2 or 3 kids. Actually, I think he ran through one of his own blockers and then 3 of Alcoa's players.
Of course, Rob, this time of year, talking about Saturday football, and actually Friday football today in the college ranks. This is rivalry weekend, and you mean what some great games to watch on TV.
Hey, my Uncle Bill's Mississippi State Bulldogs beat his wife's Ole Miss Rebels.
Came back to beat them today. Of course, Gatlinburg-Pittman trying to put the hurt on Alcoa here. Adolfo Alleman to kick off. Did I say it right, Rob?
I think so. We'll find out tomorrow.
All right, here we go. It's Hodge at the 14. Finally knocked out after he crosses midfield at the 47-yard line by number 10, Bo Owings for the Highlanders.
You know, Mike, looking at the scouting report, I'm sure they knew that this guy was a great football player, and he's on the scouting report as one of the boys to stop. But I think we everybody's so focused on Cobb that he's just kind of lighting us up right now.
Cobb fakes, looks, has a man across the middle. That's Thompson, complete for the first down inside the 30-yard line at the 28-yard line.
1st and 10, Tornadoes.
Marty, did we get a final on Arkansas and LSU? Did you hear that? 50-48 Arkansas over LSU in 3 overtimes. Wow. Cobb drops, being pressured. Finally dumped back there. Nice pressure by a blitzing number 22, Lee Douglas for the Highlanders.
Hey, I fired up number 22, Lee Douglas, and I tell you another,
by number 11,
Kyle Warner putting a lot of pressure on him right there.
And that's the end of one quarter. The Highlanders trailing Alcoa 26-7. But Rob, we still got a lot of time left in this ball game. We've got 36 minutes.
And Mike, you see some fired up Highlanders over there, and you know, and they've got to be thinking, dang, if we just wouldn't have turned the ball over, you know Alcoa, when they get the football, Mike, they could score on any play. The only strategy you can have coming into this game is try to keep the ball as much as we can on offense.
Had a nice little stat from Marty right there. You know what Marty got through saying? He said that Christmas Eve is 1 month from tomorrow.
That's Kevin Tierney's birthday, by the way.
El Presidente.
El Presidente will be 52. A very young 52.
Remember, you can see us replay on Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock, Monday nights at 7, and Wednesday nights at 7 on Channel 4, the PEG channel in downtown Gatlinburg. And also, fans, you can start catching the GP Highlander basketball games. Of course, who's on the helm there? Marty Nicely. So Alcoa, second down after we change ends of the field here from the 32-yard line. And we're obviously some of those guys across the way still shirtless. So after the sack by Douglas, it's Alcoa ball, second down and 15. Cobb fakes, looks, has Thompson, a ball incomplete right there, overthrown, but good coverage by number 10, Bo Owings, the senior defensive back.
Mike, do you think he has a little zip on the ball?
Just a little bit.
You know, that last formation is the first time that Alcoa has used a fullback in the game. They came out in just a traditional I formation. I thought they were probably just going to start running the football, but the quarterback Cobb took a 3-step drop, Mike, threw the ball from the hash all the way to the far sideline on a rope.
I formation on 3rd and 15. Option left side. That's Hodge on the pitch, being chased by Dyer. Cuts back inside. Rob, I think he stepped out maybe a yard and a half short of that first down marker.
Well, I'll tell you, if we look at a replay right there, just watch how quick Cobb is. Mike, from the time he takes a snap from center, I mean, he's down behind the tackle with less than a second. I mean, it's just incredible quick feet. Did a good job on the pitch. But then again, then after you watch the ball get pitched and number 21 gets it, Bo Dyer, who's a pretty fast football player, didn't have the best of angles on him. He's kind of running flat, and Bo Dyer couldn't catch him.
4th and 1, Alcoa. Hodge, right side, he's got the first down, brought down around the 15-yard line on the stop of the Highlanders. Number 2, Matt Robertson for GP.
And number 80, Zach Sutton, player of the week last week. There's Highlanders, and this game was featured on Channel 10 News tonight, and had a lot of good footage, and talked about Zach Sutton, but showed a lot of footage from the GP games.
Clock running, 11:24 and counting here in the second quarter. Trap inside, that's the big old fullback right there, still on his feet. That's number 2 right there, Rob. Looked like Tyson on the carry.
I'll tell you just what amazes me again, just when he took the snap from center, just with how quick he got out from under the center and got down the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 8 on a play, make that 7 on a play. Second down, 3, Alcoa. Hodge, toss sweep, right side. Touchdown, Alcoa.
You know, I mean, if it wasn't enough to come down here and have to defend Cobb in the passing game, then they started running the sprint draw to Mourne. Then they brought in a fullback and then running trap and then option. And now just, I mean, there's a lot to defend there.
Alcoa pretty smooth, Rob, a lot of different offensive sets rather.
And hey, then they bring in a 220-pound fullback that's as fast as their tailback.
Looks like Alcoa is going to line up and go for 2 right here. Up 32-7.
course, Alcoa's kicker's out, our kicker's out.
Cobb drops, looks, throws. Thompson on the 2-point conversion. So here with 10:32 remaining in the first half, it's Alcoa 34, the Highlanders 7.
Mike, it's just amazing how many good-looking athletes that Alcoa puts on the field for a small community and a small school. You know, back in the years when we played them when we were coaching, you know, we had Ronnie McCutcheon and some of those guys. We really played with Alcoa. As a matter of fact, in my opinion, we outplayed them both games that we played, had opportunities to beat them, but then they had one or two great athletes like Albert Davis Jr., who could just, you know, give him 3 or 4 touches a game, and that's 3 or 4 touchdowns. But now I think they're a more well-rounded, more well-balanced team. They've got good kids at every position.
Good Highlander crowd across the way, as you see there in the backdrop. Braving cold temperatures to support GP. Young, Owens, Dyer deep for GP. It looks like it may be Owens at the 3. There's a flag flies right there. Of course, Rob, a couple of them right there. Of course, usually you see a flag right there, it's usually goes against the retiring team. Block below the waist right there. That's going to back it up half the distance to the go, so it's probably going to be right around the 9-yard line when GP snaps it. We'll call it the 8. So GP 92 yards away from pay dirt. Bryce, the center, brings his offensive line up to the ball. Ogle fakes, wants to go deep. Down the right side of the ball is going to be caught. Great catch at the 32-yard line by Bo Owens.
And Mike, you're talking about, and they're going to tack onto that. It's going to be roughing the passer. And it was a very late hit.
So we'll take those 15 extra yards right there, but a great catch adjusting right there. See, as you look at the replay, can't see about, there's Ogle getting hit. That's a good call, and a great catch by Owens, adjusting to make a catch on the ball there.
And Mike, you're right. You know, you talk about all the things that a receiver has to do to be a good receiver, and you know, you got to run routes, and obvious you got to catch the ball. But the big thing is, especially in high school football, Mike, you got to be able to adjust to the football. It's not always going to be a perfect throw, and he just does a great job of that.
So after the completion and the penalty tacked on, GP picked up 40 yards on that play. Ogle fakes a draw, screen out left side. Robertson, he's got something going right there. Picks up a big block from Dodig, cuts back inside, and it's going to be a Highlander first down inside the 35, down at the 33. Nice play by GP.
Nice play by GP, and you see Keelan Bryce, the center. You see Michael Dodig. You see all those guys hustling down the field. But watch big number 61, Michael Dodig, releases on his block. 300-pound kid getting down there, making a stop block. And I'm not so sure that he should have just kept the ball going to the outside. He might have had a better opportunity, but a good football play.
First and 10, GP at the 33. Sims to the right, Young to the left. Sutton tight end right. Dyer on the draw, cuts back inside. Nice move right there across the way. Good run down close to the 26-yard line by the senior, Bo Dyer.
Excellent move. He's seeing the field tonight. He's, you know, making that first guy miss. Second guy's going to have to take his shoulder pads on. And I tell you, the impressive thing about that, Mike, is the blocking right there on the line of scrimmage. Great job by Alleman and number 76, Corey Nichols, and the tight end, Zach Sutton, to let him get the ball on the corner.
Ogle fakes, being pressured. Just going to have to tuck up and run this time. He eludes a couple of guys and gets inside the 25, down close to the 23. It Looks like they may have to bring the chains in for a measurement. Nice run by T.O.
Time out for the measurement.
Rob, starting to get a little nippy now.
It is getting nippy. The old concrete bleachers are cold, Mike. It's just about 2 inches short of the first down.
So it'll be third down, and like you said, about 2 inches, Rob, here with 8:52 remaining in the first half.
And one thing you got to like about this, they run an even four-man defensive front with the nose guard uncovered, and we've got a 6'5" quarterback, Mike. Quarterback sneak.
I say
Looks like it would go. See T.O. getting his guys lined up.
Dyer, right side, tripped up here. I don't know if they're going to say ball loose right there. It looks like GP retained possession out there. They may have to measure again here.
Well, Mike,
Dyer says first down.
He did get hit in the backfield, but it looked like he still got a kind of lunged and maybe got it. But, Mike, you hate in a short yardage situation like that when you're supposed to be kind of down with your nose about 6 inches off the ground to let somebody get penetration and hit your guy in the backfield.
So let's stretch of strings, and it's going to be a Highlander first down.
First and 10, Highlanders, ball at the 20.
Just a great job by Bo Dyer right there.
Highlanders really moving the ball good tonight on Alcoa. Just those 3 tough turnovers that's hurt GP to this point. Owens in the slot to the left, Dyer in the slot. Ogle Rose looking. Close ball, field ball's going to be batted down right there, intended for number 10, Bo Owens,
Pass incomplete.
on the route after motion to the right side.
Second down.
They bring up second down 10, GP. I'm going to put my hands in the pocket right here. Second down 10, Owens to the left, Sims to the right. Ogle fakes, bootlegs to the right, looking downfield, being pressured. Going to be dumped for a loss of about 4 back at the 27-yard line, making it the 26-yard line. Rob had a man open momentarily right there, but it squeezed down. Of course, he was rolling to his right, and the open guy going back to his left. It's hard to throw across your body.
And Mike, he probably did the only thing he could do right there.
Hey, you don't want to throw it up for grabs.
Don't want to. The thing about it, if you hang one in the air with the skill and speed they have in this defensive backfield, you hang it up in the air, it's going to get intercepted. Those guys just have all that speed and can really close on the football quick.
Third down, 13. Ogle. Dyer on the draw. And that's going to bring up fourth down for GP.
Dyer stopped for no gain. It'll be fourth down 1.
Boy, that's one of those, Mike. As soon as he took the handoff, he knew he's going to get a big hit right in the chin, and went ahead and held on to the football anyway.
So it's 4th and 17 for the Highlanders. Ogle drops. A little jailbreak screen inside. That's Dyer. Tripped up right there. He's going to be short of the first down. So Alcoa will take over on downs right at their own 21-yard line. It looks like Dyer may be injured.
And Mike,
slow to get up there.
It'll be first and 10.
Well, we're going to hope that's not a knee, because I tell you, he was running, and the guy that caught up with him just kind of hit him from behind. Looked like maybe kind of put his shoulder pad behind his left knee.
It's always tough on that ankle there, too, as you get a good look at the replay. Yeah, that's what it was right
Rolled
there.
over on his ankle, didn't he?
She's got a good look there at head trainer Scott Bird, director of sports medicine at Fort Sanders Severe.
Hey, it's going to take more than there'll have to be bones sticking out before Bo Dyer come out of the game. I think it's his left knee, Mike.
Cobb still at quarterback. Hodge to tailback. Cobb fakes, wants to go deep. He's got a streaking man down the right sideline. Great catch right there by number 3, Robertson.
Oh, my. You know, you hate to see this done against our football team, Mike. But just as a football fan's perspective, that was a beautiful football play. I mean, Cobb just dropped back, and I mean, he just let it roll off his foot.
Really pretty good coverage by number 10.
What else can you do? I mean, look at that. Great fake.
Stride for stride with him right there, and that's just a, boy, I tell you.
Just a fingertip catch.
Another half inch, that ball would not have been there.
Unbelievable. What a catch.
So it's 1st and 10 at the GP 28-yard line. Hodge left side. Pound his way down to the 21-yard line. Clock running 6:10 and counting in the first half. Bring it 2nd down and 3 for Alcoa. Winner of tonight's ball game will take on the winner of the DCA York Institute ball game. Quick hitch right there. Good coverage by number 10, Owens, and a good open field tackle. That's the way you do it.
To James, it'll be 3rd down.
Good play by Bo Owens.
Loss of 1 on a play. 3rd down for Alcoa. Tyson back in at the fullback position. Hodge right side. Puts a move on. Finally knocked out of bounds there. I don't know.
You know, that is the amazing thing. If you see guys that have at that point took a good angle on him, and still he just outran him to the corner.
That's enough for the 1st down. Alcoa at the Highlander 13-yard line. 3rd round action, Class 2A TSSAA state playoffs here in the year 2007. Trap inside, that's Tyson. And more, touchdown, Alcoa.
And Mike, that's a good trap blocking up front, and that's a big 220-pound fullback with speed.
There was fireworks and off. Rob sort of reminds me of Happy Valley when they used to have the cannon.
Had the cannon, yeah. And Mike, not many people playing football in the state of Tennessee tonight.
40 teams, 5 classes, 8 teams left in each division. So the 2-point PAT bells right there. So Alcoa on top, 47 here with 4:44 remaining in the first half. So Rob, you had a pretty good Thanksgiving yesterday.
Ate a lot, had a good Thanksgiving. Kind of took it easy, stayed at home, didn't travel.
Did your mom come up from New Bern?
She did not. She was entertaining the rest of the clan down there.
Jennifer bake a turkey? Rob baked the turkey.
I baked the turkey.
Of course, Rob, I spent Thanksgiving Day up at Greenville, you know, ventured up there yesterday. Of course, came back tonight for the ball game. Brought my brother-in-law, Tony Patton, in for the ball game. Who
played linebacker at Middle Tennessee State about 100 years ago.
And we're going to drive back up there tonight, you know, and, finish up the weekend up there. And Of course, yesterday was leaving the house. It's ironic, Thanksgiving Day, and getting ready to leave, and there's a flock of wild turkeys in my yard. They're brave to do that Thanksgiving Day,
Yeah.
All right.
Surprised you didn't go get your 12 gauge out from under the bed. And
Patty's 12 gauge. There's Thompson right there. Fielded by Young at the 4. There's a reverse right there. That's Orange on the reverse there. And I thought he fumbled there. I thought Young had fumbled there, and everybody's chasing the ball this way. Didn't see it bounce loose right there, but a little razzle-dazzle trickery by head coach Benny Hammonds as you look at the replay.
you know what? That was an exchange ticket just in the nick of time. I mean, that because Chase Young got hit right as he was getting rid of the football.
All right, so it's 1st and 10 Highlanders at their own 36-yard line. Dyer back in at tailback. He's all right. Trap inside Robertson. Nice run of a Matt up across the 41. Brought down across the 40, brought down at the 41-yard line.
And that was a good football play, Mike. And that play right there starts with the trap block. He's the guy that gets all the attention. But when you watch a center, he's got to snap the football. He's got what we call block back. He's got to snap the football, take a hard step, get his head in the right spot, keep that defensive tackle who sees the flow of the play from getting in the hole, so he can let his guard pull up in there and trap. Good block between Nate Sanchez and Keelan Bryce right there.
Robertson again on his trap, gets 3 tough yards. Let's make that 4 tough yards out close to the 45-yard line. Here's 3:43 and counting in the first half.
And then that time the trap block didn't work, but Bo Dyer made a great play out of it. Mike's been a good offensive line, and it's good to see Michael Dodig.
Are we ready, Kevin? Are we on? Oh. Back to start the second half of tonight's ball game. GP to receive the kickoff to start the second half. Short kick fielded by Douglas at the 23. Lee still on his feet, up across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Rob, if you're head coach Benny Hammonds, what do you tell your troops at halftime?
You know, Mike, you got to go in there and say, look, we're doing a great job. Take those 3 turnovers away, and this is a ball game. I mean, we're playing great. Our quarterback's playing great. Our running backs are doing a good job.
You know, two scoring drives. First drive of the game, get down good field position, and you have the turnover. You know, GP's done a great job moving the football tonight against a pretty quick Alcoa football team. Robertson on the trap up close to the 34. We'll call it a pickup of 2 on the play. Second down 8 Highlanders.
Of course, one thing you got to do, and Mike, and it's just a matter of speed. And we were talking about Alcoa's offense. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, they can do anything, but it's you just gotta try your best to be a better open field tackler on that guy once he gets downfield. And you got and better angles. You know, you can talk to your players about taking a better angle.
Young to the left, Owens to the right. Dyer's going to sweep it to the right side. On the corner, Dyer down the right sideline, pounds over an Alcoa player right there. Good run by the senior Bo Dyer.
Hey, good run. And when you look at the replay, Mike, I tell you something that's much better about this sweep play. A lot of times when you see Matt Robertson at fullback going downfield in front of him to block, he kind of slows down to look for his block. And watch Matt Robertson right here at his fullback spot. I mean, he is on the go and he is finding. Look at that right there. That is a huge block by Matt Robertson. That's a helmet decal right there.
1st and 10, ball at midfield. Dyer off the right side for no gain. That'll bring up 2nd down, 10 Highlanders.
Mike, that was one of the best blocks on a sweep I've seen by a fullback in a long time.
I think also, Rob, we didn't get a chance to talk about it in the replay there, but good job by big Corey Nichols pulling around there too. That looked like the old Southern Cal sweep. Student body right, as Marty says. Ogle drops, wants to go deep, being pressured and going to be dumped. Alcoa saying the ball is loose.
And Mike, you just want to see, you just hope to see T.O. get up out of that pile healthy. You know, I think what he did, he was looking downfield, and before he could get rid of the football, he sensed that he was going to take a shot right there to the ribs, and he tried to pull the ball down, and well, it's just a big hit on him from the backside. And when you're 6'5" and you've got the ball up above your shoulder and you're looking downfield, I mean, you've got a big target there.
New quarterback. They've changed quarterbacks on us right there. It's Chase James. Good.
Well, they changed running backs on us too, and I tell you, the guy they put in, Mike, I think is faster.
It's Jerron Toney, the sophomore.
A 5'5", 145-pound sophomore with speed. I tell you what, he had an afterburner. Did you see when he got through the line, when he got to that second level and kicked it in?
Alcoa to attempt a PAT. Snap it down, kick is up, and the kick is good, but there is a flag down here. Let's see what the call is here. Okay, that's going to be against the Highlanders. No. I don't know. No.
I don't.
Alcoa.
Mike, I see a lot of confusion out there, but I think what does that call mean?
I thought you should be helping the runner. I don't know.
Penalty against the Tornadoes.
It's a 15-yard penalty. So Alcoa going to go for 2 now.
Alcoa putting their first offensive line back in there, but leaving their second-team quarterback and tailback in the game. And Mike, that's the kind of mistake that a young quarterback's going to make. He not throwing for the goal line.
So Alcoa puts another touchdown on the board. They lead 46-13 here with 10-14 remaining in the third quarter. Robert, and cold nights like tonight, of course not tonight, of course, we're here at the ball game, just like, it's winter times upon us, and, what not a better time of the year to make a trip up to the Greenbrier restaurant by the fire, just to have a great meal up there.
Well, next Friday night we'll be there.
Nice to see Penny Nicely at the game here tonight. There's some kind of motive behind that. She's probably with the airport motorball, Marty.
I'd say that's a good bet.
Short kick again, and it's going to be Owens stepping in front of Douglas. Owens still on his feet. Brought down at the 38-yard line. So GP set to scrimmage from there.
7, first and 10. Highlanders.
And Mike, I tell you, look down there and you see this defensive end to our side of the field, number 1, Darrell Warren, 6'1", 215-pound freshman, and you got to, just looking at his body, you got to wonder if he is Brandon Warren's brother.
Looks like him right there. Nice throw and catch. Owens having a big night tonight. That's going to be a high under first down right out at the 48-yard line.
First and 10, Highlanders at the 48.
Pretty good looking freshman.
Young to the right. Make that Young to the left. Sims to the right. Ogle drops, pumps, looking. Now he has Young. Downfield ball's going to be incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Good job by Ogle right there just to elude the pressure.
It'll be second down.
Drifting outside to the left. Trying to find Young down the left side. And Rob, of course, just hard to float it right there on a dime.
And it really was probably an impromptu adjustment by Chase Young. He was running the out pattern there, and he had double or triple coverage, and then the play was falling apart. He was the only guy in the route. It looks to me like Mikey just used his head and took off down the sideline and almost gave us a big play, or certainly gave us the chance for a big play.
Second down, 10, Highlanders. Dyer the tailback. Ogle drops, pumps, looking, wants to go deep down the right side. He's got Owens. That ball's going to be complete. Owens still on his feet, dragging people with him down inside the 20-yard line, inside the 15-yard line at the 12.
Owens.
What a big year Owens has had. And one thing he's always done a good job running after the catch, but he always outruns people or puts a move and runs around people. I've never seen him drag 3 or 4 guys like that down the field.
So first and 10, ball at the 15-yard line. Mike, how long with Rob Younger, Marty Nicely, Kevin Tierney, Randall Brown. Ogle fakes, rolls out right, looks downfield, and does a good job just throwing away right there, Rob.
And Mike, one thing you want to do is you see him throwing the ball, and one thing that Taylor does a good job of is he doesn't lead his receivers into a bad situation or a big hit. It happened one time tonight where I think Matt Robertson caught the ball, and as soon as he turned around and got hit, but he usually does a good job of even making it an incomplete pass or throwing it where only the receiver can catch it, and if he does catch it, he's running where he's not going to run right into a big hit by a free safety.
This time Owens and Young to the left side. Ogle looks, pumps, throws, incomplete.
And his receivers like him for that, because a lot of times these quarterbacks don't care. They're just looking for the completion, and they'll hang a guy out to dry.
Incomplete. It'll be third down.
Speaking of security, Rob, where's Chris Brown in that?
I would say he's sitting over there with his wife tonight.
Third down, 10, Highlanders. Trap inside Robertson. He's going to get some of it back.
His security contract only includes home games.
Robertson carries Stop after a short gain
and,
and
and, and also I think he has a clause in his contract where if it's where if it gets below 32 degrees that he doesn't provide security.
So gain of 5 on the play by Robertson. It's going to bring up 4th and 5. GP, clock running 8:02 remaining in the third quarter. GP trying to pick up the first down, if not more.
Oh, it's a touchdown, and
Highlanders.
And it's great to see Taylor Ogle getting up and walking back to the sideline, Mike.
He got hammered.
He got hammered after the play, and you see Coach Larry White coming over there telling him what a great job he did. Of course, Larry White taking over for Lee Hammonds as their quarterback coach this year after Lee went to Pigeon Forge.
Taylor, you could come back out there for the extra point there.
He's a tough kid. That's
We'll get a good look at the replay after the PAT right here. GP power slot right. Ogle looking, has a man out there. Ball's going to be complete to Robertson for the 2-point conversion. So here with 7:41 remaining in the third quarter, it's Alcoa at 46, GP 21. The replay's going to come up right here. I don't know if we'll get a good, great fake off the right side. I think Randall's fingers, I hear, have iced over. Good fake right there. Ooh. And that's Sutton on the touchdown.
I tell you, Taylor kind of got cut in half. And you know what he did? He did a great job with his ball fake. And, you know, when you watch at him, technically, Larry White and the other quarterbacks, they've just done a really good job of this year continuing their work where Lee Hammonds left off, and he's just a technically sound football player.
All right, Felony on the play. Let's try it again. Reverse to Sutton, and he's going to get in the end zone for the PAT.
And Mike, that time they got their exchange worked out between Zach Sutton and T.O., and the play worked. And Mike, the Highlanders certainly not giving up on the football game.
Still a lot of time left in this. And Rob, it is cold. It's cold. I was going to get a little coffee there at halftime, but, well, you offered me some of yours because you stood in line the whole time. Hey, it's cold, but hey, those touchdowns will warm me up. Like Chase Young is going to kick off for the Highlanders this time. This may be the old
onside kick.
I guess he's the squib onside kick specialist.
Young kicking off.
No.
Johnson had the 20. Oh, nice tackle right there. Who by? Number 7, Chase Young.
Hey, last week, Alleman kicked off, went downfield and made the tackle. This week, Chase Young kicked off and goes downfield and make the tackle.
Nice tackle by the senior, Chase Young.
Well, he's been a pleasure to watch this year. He has made some huge plays for us.
Number 8, Chase James. James, the new quarterback in the ball game. So number 15 again on the carry, Rob.
He's scary, Mike. You know, the thing about him, he's only 5'5", and you know, if you're playing linebacker or defensive back, you really can't see him until he kind of pops through the line of scrimmage, and then he's out in the open field, and it's too late.
Off to the races. Gain of 7 on the play. Second down 3. Alcoa. There's a trap inside to the. That's number 2 right there on the carry. Tyson, the freshman.
And 22 on the tackle, Mike. He's had a great job. Lee Douglas has had a great defensive game tonight.
First and 10, ball at the 36-yard line. On the stop for the tackle, who? Number 32, Bo Dyer.
Second down.
They'll bring up second down 4, Alcoa. They're on top of the Highlanders here with 6:14 remaining in the third quarter. You know, right there, Rob.
Great play by Elijah Casey. One thing that you got to teach these defensive linemen to do, Mike, is get off the block, get some separation, and then make the tackle. But a good job by Elijah doing exactly that. Of course, he's going to be one of the. You know, we've got a lot of promising young players coming up, and you look out there and see people like him and Husky and Lee Douglas, and man, we're just going to have a lot of great players coming back next year.
First and 10, Alcoa. Ball at the 48-yard line of the Tornadoes, and movement.
Flags on the play.
Of course, we can talk about those guys next year, Mike, but the story about this football team is just a great group of seniors and a great job by Coach Benny Hammonds and his coaching staff. And I tell you, Coach Hammonds coaches harder and does a better job than he ever has. He's certainly not losing anything. And, you know, a lot of times you'll hear some of these guys that have been in it a while, these critics will say, oh, the game's passed him by. It has not. He's just done a great job with this football team.
First and 15, Alcoa. Ball loose right there, picked up. Looks like that was number 32,
30.
Bo Dyer.
Bo Dyer stripped it, recovered it, almost broke loose for a touchdown.
So big turnover. Highlanders good field position at the Alcoa 34-yard line.
Mike, you see Bo Dyer just kind of coming around and seeing that opportunity that the ball carrier his knees weren't down on the ground yet, and he just reached in and grabbed the football and plucked it loose.
See Dodig, his left ankle, Rob, heavily taped right there. Ogle drops, looks, wants to go deep down the left side to, now it's going to have to flush it out of the pocket. Flags fly right there, ball complete to Owens, but I think this is coming back. He looked left down the left side to Chase Young. He's covered, then he's forced out of the pocket, Rob, and sometimes you get forced out of that pocket, you know, that's when those flags fly.
Things start breaking down.
Holding against the Highlanders.
But Mike, you're talking about what a great group we've had this year, and kind of before the game we were just talking about how we've got a better chance at playing Alcoa just because we're a better football team. Got this great group, but overall we're just a lot quicker. And I just think that a lot of the improvements that we've made this year, it's just in attitude and the work ethic that Bruce Ruttenberg, Coach Hammonds, and Coach Weber got started in the weight room in their off season last year, after season. I just think they made a commitment like no other GP team that I've seen in the 20 years that I've been here.
Dyer fakes the sweep. He's going to go deep for Owens on the halfback pass. The ball's going to be complete.
Oh, How in the world did we complete that?
Down to around the 15-yard line.
Wow.
I thought that ball was going to be picked
I
off.
thought it was picked off. I think it went right through his hands. Oh, here's a look at the replay. We're going to find out how we did it.
It's just a good adjustment right there by Owens.
You know, really, Bo Dyer did a good job getting his shoulders down, faking the run, pulling up at the last second, showed some good arm strength. But again, it's just Bo Owens making a great adjustment on the football.
Dyer sweep right side, cuts back inside. Nice run by the senior running back down to about the 7-yard line.
And Mike, I went out and had dinner with strength coach Bruce Ruttenberg Wednesday night, and he would, as you look at the replay, but Corey Nichols pulling. Look at that big block by Corey Nichols right there. 2 blocks, Mike. And but Bruce was just talking about what a great group of guys these were and how hard they've worked in the offseason. They've done everything, then some, that he's asked them to do.
Dyer on the draw. Touchdown, Dyer.
Touchdown, Highlanders.
Of course, that guy right there is the main reason for the improved football team. And I've said it several times this year, and I think in 2A football in East Tennessee, he is the best all-around football player.
So GP puts another touchdown on the board here. Looks like I'll go for 2. All this game has become a shootout. Ogle looks as man out that ball is complete. PAT.
And Mike, that's number 11, Kyle Horner. And you know what he did? Ran a great route, had a guy hanging all over him. T.O. put the ball where it was even incomplete, or Horner catches it. Horner did a good job catching the ball in traffic. What a play.
So here with 3:17 remaining in the third quarter, it's 46-29. As you look at the replay, Dyer on his touchdown.
And Mike, you look down, and we've been seeing Alcoa's second-team quarterback and running back, and as you look at the replay right there, this great, what a great play by Kyle Horner. Hey, that guy was all over him. I mean, it was almost pass interference, and he still hung on to the ball. Just good concentration. But you see Randall Cobb and some of the other first-team guys warming back up, tying their shoulder pads back up, stretching out.
And here comes Young to kick off for the Highlanders. The old left-footed kicker right there.
Whoa, look at Chase Young coming down the field.
Young a little slow getting up right there. Rob, he's like a streaking bullet right there.
I tell you what, he's playing it. He was playing at a different level than everybody else right there. I'd like to see a replay. Watch number 7 after he kicks the ball. You'll see him come in at the top of the screen. You know, you've got 21 kids out there going one speed, and he's playing at an entirely different speed on that play.
So it's 1st and 10, Alcoa at their own 41-yard line. Chase James still the quarterback for the Tornadoes.
Tony carries.
I tell you, little number 15, he's just elusive.
You see some of those Alcoa first-team guys warming up, Mike. It would have to be a serious threat to losing this ball game before I'd have my first-team guys going over there in 30-degree weather after not playing in about 45 minutes to get back out there, especially when you're looking at what's ahead of you the next 2 weeks.
Trap inside.
And Mike, that's a true zero trap. That's just right up the seam, right behind the center. You see the quarterback take the snap. When he gets out from under center, he takes 2 steps backwards and hands the ball off. That's just a true zero trap right up the middle.
That's enough for the first down. First down, Alcoa at the Highlander 46-yard line. Clock running 2:12 and counting in the third quarter. Class 2A quarterfinal action, state playoffs. Uh-oh. Sims can't quite catch him. That's touchdown, Alcoa.
And Mike, I don't know if that was the old counter trade play or if it was just a trap, but looked like they had two offensive linemen from the backside pulling and really did a good job of kicking our defensive lineman out and created a seam. And hey, who's going to catch that guy? I'm not sure Alcoa has anybody that can catch him. Number 15, Jerron Tony. Sophomore.
Snaps it down, kick is up, and the kick is good.
Of course, our Blount County connection and says that this team, that the majority of the talent on this team are freshmen and sophomores.
Raul, I'm going to have to stand up right here just a minute to warm up. Getting a little bitter here.
Mike, I would, but my soon-to-be prosthetic joints won't work when it gets this cold. Of course, talking about prosthetic joints, our buddy Charlie Stewart had a knee replacement a couple of weeks ago, and I was talking to him one day, and we were just talking about, he had a grandson that played for us a few years ago, and he said, that's right, Adam Stewart. He said, I got a trivia question. What is the shortest punt return ever for a touchdown in the history of GP? And it was a one-yard punt return by Adam Stewart. But hope his surgery went well.
Marty had that out on the tip of his tongue right there for you. Grasp it out of his stance right there. Marty's having a little trouble on the stance here tonight since his ink pen has froze up. Owens at the 30.
If he was old school, he'd have a pencil.
On the return, brought down near the 40, where it's 1st and 10, Highlanders.
So it's going to be GP football at their own 39-yard line here with 1:41 remaining in the third quarter. Ogle looks, pumps, has a man, Young, complete right there. Great throw and catch to diving Young.
That was a good play by those two. One thing was when Chase Young went into his route, the spot where he normally throws the football, he wasn't open at that point. You see Ogle pump it, but the thing is, Chase Young, being a veteran receiver, Mike kept running his route full speed, and then T.O. after the pump got it to him. That was really a good football play.
First down, Highlanders, ball at midfield. Young this time splits to the right, Sutton tight end left. Ogle fake, screen pass left side, tight end screen, that's to Sutton right there. Pounding, twisting, turning.
Hold on to the ball. Good job.
But there is a flag down, Rob, back at the 49-yard line.
And Mike, that's probably going to be a holding on our great senior left tackle, which I think it was a bad call, but that's what they're going to call.
Blocking the back against the Highlanders.
You being an ex-offensive line.
No, they're going to call it
blocking the back.
Blocking the back. That's a bad call. That guy had already run by the play, and he kind of, Dodig did have his hands out, but Mike, that was was a non-factor in the football play and a non-dangerous block.
After the penalty, it's going to be 1st and 19 Highlanders. Ogle drops, wants to screen it, looking. Gets it to Dyer. Bolt's going to get about 4 of it back up close to the 45-yard line.
You know, the thing I like about these guys, Mike, when an offensive situation, an offensive play that they have called breaks down, they don't panic. You know, they wait till something else comes open or just eat it. You know, a lot of times when you get a quarterback and he drops back there, if it doesn't happen like it happens on the chalkboard or in the air, they just panic and go ahead and throw it anyway and throw into coverage or throw an interception. And but T.O.'s smart enough and patient enough where he just kind of lets things unfold. And if it's not there, he'll wait a second or two.
And that'll be the final play of the 3rd quarter of the score.
And boy, Zach Sutton has had 3 good ball games in a row.
29.
So that's the end of 3 quarters. As you look at the scoreboard, we'll change ends of the field right there and see what's going on. It looks like across the way right there that number 7 Chase Young being attended to by the trainers.
I can't tell by the way they're working on him, Mike. They're not holding him up, are they? That's Mike. Is he?
Can't tell from here.
And Mike, the thing that scares you is he took a shot in the head on that pass reception across the middle.
After a good lick by him on that kickoff coverage.
I tell you what, though, you know, he's one of those guys, and he's really, I mean, he's not big, but when you see him in the weight room in a pair of shorts and a tank top, I mean, he's just solid muscle, and he's a tough kid. But, Mike, the way he's playing and trying to take his game up a notch and throwing his body around like that, I mean, he is anybody can get hurt.
We don't know.
It is 2nd down.
We don't know.
14 from the 45.
We don't know. All right, so we've changed the ends of the field right here. A little PR work right there. Okay, 2nd down 15, GP ball at their own 45-yard line. Owens on the reception, a little hot pass right there, still on his feet, picks up a block there from number 12.
Pass complete to Owen.
Sims.
It'll be 3rd down.
No gain on the play. I'll bring up maybe a gain of 1 on the play. We'll call it 3rd down, 14 Highlanders. Robert, your package just about had it. Third and 14. Owens on the counter right there, cuts back inside, now outside. Brought down right at the 50. That's going to bring, 49. That's going to bring up 4th down.
And Mike, you know, you go to these big games, you see a lot of ex-players showing up, and probably one of my favorite players that I ever coached, number 45, Aaron Maples. Of course, he's here watching the game tonight, along with Eric McGaha.
I'll tell you, last week, a lot of guys came by last week because it was nice.
Because we were inside and it was warm and we had food, right?
That's right. So Adolfo Allman's going to punt it away here on 4th down. Perhaps a fake route. It's a good kick, a moving kick right there. It's going to hit, take a GP roll and go out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
All right, Adolfo.
Punt goes out of bounds.
I bet you would have been a good punter,
First
Rob.
and 10,
I had one
Toledo.
career punt.
Was it blocked?
No, it was like a 9-yard punt. You know, of course, you know, talking about Aaron Maples being here at the game, just remember coaching him and number 45 for the Highlanders and his best buddy, Ronnie McCutcheon, probably one of the better players to ever play at GP, definitely the best punter without a doubt. And of course, maybe other than Harry Montgomery. Of course, or I guess Harry played it. Was it GP then or Pi Beta Phi?
Pi Beta Phi.
Pi Beta Phi.
Cunningham carry. Loss. That's 5 seconds.
Alcoa fans having a good time here tonight.
A few Alcoa fans starting to leave. Trying to beat the traffic. 9:40 remaining in the ball game. Second down, 15. James Fakes being pressured. Right, that ball's going to be complete. Oh, dropped out there. It's going to stop the clock.
And Mike, no matter how much talent you have, when the second team quarterback comes in the game with that first team line, it's just always a little bit out of sync. His cadence is a little different. His voice is a little different. The steps down the line of scrimmage are a little bit even slower or quicker. It's hard to just stay in sync when you bring another quarterback in the game.
Third down, 15. Draw inside. And Sutton catch him at the 49-yard line.
I tell you what,
Tony.
you know a guy's fast when he splits two guys and they're all running in the same direction and he's running between them and just kind of splits them.
Let's get a look at the replay here.
I tell you what, that's good. That's pretty impressive by Zach Sutton, a 6'3", 190-pound tight end that ran him down and got him.
First and 10, Alcoa at the Highlander 48-yard line.
Hey, and that's a freshman right there. And oh.
Touchdown, Toledo. Darryl Warren on the touchdown run.
And Mike, that's Darryl Warren, and you just have to think that's Brandon Warren's brother. And boy, I tell you, those folks from other teams that are watching this game, they're going to get a heavy dose of those two guys in Region 2 2A for the next 2 years or next 4 years.
Wow.
Extra point try is no good.
So the PAT fails, so get a look at the scoreboard right there.
Tornadoes up by 30, Mike, but the Highlanders are still going to play football. They're going to come out and they're going to try to run it down the field and get a score.
They just can't put the Highlanders away here tonight. Rob, I'm going to have to stand up my feet or none. Of course, I got to drive back up to Greenville tonight. Before you think my toes will be warm by when?
Greenville. Good look at Coach Bruce Ruttenberg on the sideline. Strength and conditioning coach for the Highlanders, Mike, for 26 years now. Is this his 26th year?
Still attending to Chase Young on the sideline there. Kevin, if I stand up, is this going to bother you if I stand up? Unless it's right in front, I'll get down. I'll step down. going to have to warm up a little bit here.
Mike, I don't know. I think your brother-in-law Tony's already gone to Greenville. I think you're going to have to find a way back to Greenville tonight.
I got the keys. He's hitching. That's Corey Jenkins at the 20-yard line.
Jenkins on the return. Brought down near the 37, was 1st and 10, Highlanders.
Good return by Jenkins out to the 37-yard line. GP takes over on offense here with 8:24 remaining in the ball game. Ogle looking, Orange still on his feet. He's going to bust this one right here. Good job cutting back inside by Bo Owens down to the 36-yard line. Rob, he's had impressive numbers tonight.
He really has, and you know what? He knows how fast he is, and instead of just trying to outrun that guy, he put a move on him, cut behind him, and gained 10 or 15 extra yards when he would have gotten about 5. And you know, think about it, Mike. I don't think he's coughed up the football this year. You know, you see a guy that just runs loose like that, and a good open field runner, and 170 pounds, and he just doesn't cough up the football.
Dyer, left side, cuts back right, now back to the left. Gain of about 3 on the play. 2nd down, 7 Highlanders. Clock running 7:15, counting in the ball game.
Of course, Bo's dad, Bobby, was a good receiver back when in your early part of your career when you were coaching.
Bobby, fine athlete, back in the late 70s. Played in a couple teams with Chris Bryan.
Those guys are old.
And David Taylor.
They're my age.
Okay, Sims to the right, Sutton tight end left. Jenkins, crossbuck, running room. Pounds his way down to the 30-yard line.
Jenkins carries. It'll be 3rd down.
Rob, I hadn't been this cold since the last time we went to a Cincinnati bingo ball game. That was cold.
That was cold.
Yeah, it was in the booth that night, though. I'm talking about when we've had to brave the elements. 3rd down, 4 Highlanders. Owens and Sims split to the right. Ogle fakes, looking, goes downfield, has Owens, the ball's going to be caught for a touchdown.
What a beautiful pass by Taylor Ogle. Bo Owens having a career night.
30 yards on the reception.
And you know what? That's going to close the gap to 24 points, and Taylor Ogle's probably, Mike, going to be over about 300 yards passing tonight.
And Owens well over 150. Of course, since Marty's not doing stats tonight, we can look at official stats tomorrow. Snap is down, kick is up, and the kick is good by Owens.
Extra point is good.
So here with 6:29 remaining in the ball game, GP back on the scoreboard.
What a huge play. And again, the great thing for our guys is that this game tape's going to go out to probably over about 100 different college coaches, and they're going to be watching for Randall Cobb and this guy and that guy, and then they're going to look over and they're going to see some of our guys, number 1032, but then they're going to look at a 6'5" quarterback, and they're going to call Alcoa's coach and say, hey, who is that guy in the other side of the line of scrimmage that's throwing the ball? There's been a lot of players discovered like that, too.
So Adolfo to kick off. Oh,
Oh,
it's going to hit.
oh.
Kick goes into the end
Big
zone for a
Godolfo
touchback.
kicking the ball
First
through
and
the
10,
end zone.
Tornadoes at the 20.
So Alcoa will scrimmage from their own 20-yard line here with 6:29 remaining in the ball game.
You know, I tell you, this new head coach here for Alcoa,
Gary Rankin.
Gary Rankin, not only does he have a tremendous amount of talent, but he's got a pretty disciplined, well-coached football team. Just kind of go about their business. You know, the whole atmosphere is business. Like, Mike, if we scored 59 points, we'd be parading in the street having, you know, and these guys are just kind of like they're watching a movie, you know.
Of course, number 1, Warren comes out. Number 15 back in the ball game. Not much right there.
Kind of corralled him that time.
Tony carries. It'll be third
Kyle
down.
Horner in on the play. I'd say his mom, Camille Horner's had a tough year. She's probably had a tougher year than Scott Bird. She's probably treated more people than Scott Bird.
Third down, 7, Alcoa. New quarterback in the ball game. Close to a first down. I think it's going to be a little short. He is going to be short.
Pass and talent complete to Tyson.
Alcoa yet to punt in the game. 4th and 2. Let's see what they do.
It'll be fourth down 2.
Of course, the freshman quarterback coming into the game, completing his first pass.
Pressure by the Highlanders.
I tell you, of course, we heard that Alcoa's kicker was not going to play tonight, but Alcoa's kicking game certainly isn't what it was 2 years ago. You know, they had the punter that was, I don't know where he ended up, but he had offers from Louisville and West Virginia, but he was also the punter. And, man, he could nose it over and just probably could boom it.
First and 10 Highlanders. Ogle looks almost picked off and hauled in right there by Owens. I thought that 6 going all the way from
Well,
there, Rob.
you know, it looked like it was going to be, but, you know, Bo Owens, just that great concentration like a lot of those great receivers have. And you look at the replay right here, and, you know, just a good read by that kid, and he tipped it up. And tell you, if their cornerback hadn't have made a shoestring tackle, Bo Owens might have made a touchdown out of that.
Gain of 7 on the play. Second down to GP.
Bo Owens showing a little bit of his own speed there. Good job by the center, Keelan Bryce, right there. You know,
That's Bo Dyer on the carry.
Bo Dyer showing a little speed, but a good job by center Keelan Bryce. As you know, we don't go and shotgun a whole lot, but you know, it's one of those situations where he had a nose guard lined up over him and still made a good snap.
Third down, 2 Highlanders. Dyer, or Ugly fakes. That ball's going to be picked off by Alcoa.
Pass intercepted by Daniel Robinson. It'll be 1st and 10, Tornadoes at the
Mike, not bad to put the
47.
ball in the air that many times, 1 interception against a bunch of speedy defensive backs like this.
So Alcoa takes over here with 3:36 in the ball game. Rob, Highlander's not going to come through the night. Hey, it's been a great football season for Coach Benny Hamilton and his staff. And, man, what a pleasure it's been to watch these seniors all year long.
I agree.
What? There's a hold. This one's coming back.
Warren on the carry. There's a flag on the play.
It's just been a pleasure working for Kevin Tierney every Friday night.
Oh, yeah.
What a guy.
Against Tornadoes.
Our straw boss.
You know, a guy, you know, on the camera out there, you can't use gloves. You know, he's done it all.
Whoa.
Big Bill right there.
He,
About tore his head off.
yeah. Of course, Mike, huge thanks to our sponsors the last 2 weeks, McCarter's Lumber, and then all year long, Ogle's 5 Oaks Construction and the Greenbrier Restaurant.
And Julian's Pizza.
Julian's Pizza. Still got to go down to Julian's Pizza and try the 30-30.
I mean, take two people.
Two
does it?
people.
Who are you gonna take with you?
I don't know. I think I'll
Bill.
take a Randall. Last time we were at my mother's house, my mother said, "Boy, he sure does eat a lot for a little feller."
Of course, Randall opted out for the headphones tonight since it's got his hood on.
Warren carries. Stop for no gain. 3rd down.
Third down and a bunch. Still on his feet.
Mike, of course, it's a great time now. Our kids go back and take a break. Some of them will go right into basketball. Then some of them into the weight room and start dreaming about next year. And of course, Mike, again, a great group of seniors.
Oh, super year.
4th quarter score, Maryville 52, Red Bank 20.
Going to finish 11-2 on the season. You know, reaching 14 to make it to the quarterfinals.
Halftime
You
score,
know,
DCA
tie
20,
school
York
record.
6.
Made it to the Elite 8. So,
4th quarter score, Fulton 26, Austin East 6.
of course, GP, Mike, I think having a good show tonight. Certainly won't leave the game with that bad, bitter taste we had in our mouths 2 years ago when we left here.
Alcoa to punt it away for the second time.
Punt roll's dead at the 42. There's a flag on the play.
Flag back up there, Rob, around where the ball was kicked.
Those officials must not be as cold as we are.
Oh.
Penalties holding against Tornadoes declined. It'll be 1st and 10. Highlanders at the 41.
Rob never did get an injury report on Chase Young, did we?
We did not.
Ogle being pressured, looking downfield now, looking. Nice drop off there to Dyer. First down at the 30-yard line.
Pass complete to Dyer, brought down by Robinson.
Well, it's certainly been a good time watching him play football this year.
Picks up the first down.
He's just
First and
he is
10,
a
Highlanders at the
football
31.
player. Of course, we get to watch him play a little round ball this year too. Sure, Coach Placeris is really looking forward to him and Hagan Sims and Taylor Ogle getting back out there.
Ball's going to be incomplete. And Rob, that's the ball game right there. Great season for the Highlanders, but they fall here in the quarterfinals. Of course, Rob, you know, great to work with you again this fall, you and Marty and Randall and Kevin, and saying, hey, great year for the Highlanders. We'll see you next football season.